Discovered in Mongolia, 1946, by a joint Soviet-Mongolian expedition, the Soviet paleontologist Yevgeny Malyi gave it the name Tyrannosaurus batar, but a few years later he changed the name to Tarbosaurus batar, meaning terrifying lizard hero. Tarbosaurus is an Asian cousin of T-Rex. Now Tyrannosaurus and Tarbosaurus may look the same. There are some slight differences between them. For instance, T-Rex was larger than Tarbosaurus, and Tarbosaurus had smaller arms than most members of the Tyrannosaur kind. Parts of its skull was narrower than T-Rex's. It's believed that Tarbosaurus's eyes were positioned more sideways, which meant that it didn't have a similar binocular vision like T-Rex. It would have had to turn its head to either side to get a good view at looking forward. Tarbosaurus might have had good hearing and could use roars to communicate to their kind that are close or far away. Whether to warn intruders out of their territories or to call for a mate. Its brain was almost like that of a crocodile's, and it had an excellent sense of smell, just like the Tyrannosaurus's. This would be helpful for it to track down prey and for males to find a mate. He spots a suitable target, but it's not a dinosaur. It's a giant mammal. In 1911, paleontologist Sir Clive Forster Cooper called it Paraceratherium, meaning near-horn beast, even though there were no evidence for a place to have a horn grow on the skull. Years later, it had other names like Indricotherium and Balucotherium. In paleontology, some animals would have more than one name. Further studies and observation would cause the names to be changed. Examples for that are the Dinosaurus and Tyrannosaurus, the Brontosaurus, and Apatosaurus. At first, only the skull was found while the rest of the body was unknown. But years later, more discoveries, such as finding the legs, had helped scientists to theorize what the animal looked like when it was alive. Paraceratherium might have almost looked like a mix between a giraffe and a rhinoceros. But this giant mammal is not related to either of these animals other than its own animal kind, the Hyracoodont kind. This mammal kind is distinguished by long legs, medium-lengthened necks, and maybe bulky bodies. None of these species had made it to this day, and so the Hyracoodont kind are declared extinct. One of the reasons why God designed this mammal to be so tall is so that she and her species can be able to browse in the trees. God designed helpful tools to help her feed. First is a muscular lip to help grab the plant food. Next, she has two pairs of big incisor teeth that are in different shapes. The upper pair pointed downward, somewhat almost like that of a rodent's, and the lower pair pointed forward. Both of these animals' fossils were found in Mongolia, and just because no fossils were found with them together, doesn't mean that they didn't live together at the same time. Remember, in the Bible, Genesis chapter 1 verse 24 to 25 clearly states that God created the creatures that move along the ground and wild animals, each according to its kind. These are wild animals of their own kind, that are moving and living on the ground. The Bible doesn't have to be any more specific than that. Because of her design size, the female Paraceratherium is safe from small predators. But what would happen when she confronts a large predatory dinosaur? When in danger, the female Paraceratherium would use her first defense: sheer bulk. But the male Tarbosaurus won't be that easily scared. Tarbosaurs are believed to have not only been scavengers, but also active hunters. Evidence for that is from a fossilized Tarbosaur hand where it showed signs of stress fractures. Tarbosaurus has 60 sharp teeth and a bite force ranging between 4 to 5 tons. Less powerful than a T-Rex, but it's still strong enough to crush bones. This may look pointless at first, but the Tarbosaur is trying to injure one of the Paraceratherium's legs, because these tall legs help support her massive weight, like the legs of a table. If any one of them gets badly injured, she'll be unable to stand up and would become vulnerable. If the predator succeeds, he would have an easier chance to kill her. One more strong bite, and he will win. An adult male Paraceratherium arrives at the scene. He's older than the female, and from head to toe, he's as tall as 2 school buses stacked on top of each other. The predator might not survive a fight with him after getting hurt from the female. As for the female, her wounds are bad, but with the help of the male, she'll have more protection from other predators until she fully recovers.